Ready? Need to come over.
Father, thank you for life and helping our strength. Thank you how you took care of us of this past time. Ask you to continue to move and bless us as we go forth in the business of the town. Lead us and guide us, direct us in the right path that we will do what is best for the citizens of this town. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks for noticing. Nobody else did.
Really? Are you serious? Yeah. Come in as a quick more.
I know. Oblivious. Hello, Miss B.
All right, everyone. Thank you for coming out tonight to our February 21st meeting. And without further ado, we'll move right on into the roll call. Mr. Curtis is here with us in the back. Mr. Dennis is back there. Miss Wendy is trying to be a grandmother again.
She is.
Bless your heart.
Right.
Miss Sue's here. Tyler's here. Mr. Jason's here. I'm here.
I'm here.
He's here. He's here.
I say, guess what? It won't be long.
That's right. It won't be long. Miss Sherry called us here. She's helping the teacher thing over there. She'll be here in just a few minutes. So we're going to, our illustrious,
Don't you say that.
one and all, Mr. Warren's with us tonight. So, all right. And with that being done, if you've had a chance to look at our agenda, entertain a motion.
I have a couple of things I need to amend in the agenda.
Okay.
I apologize. I was rushing through this on Thursday. So first off, under informational items, the voter registration drive is Wednesday, March 1st at 1 o'clock p.m., not 10 a.m. That needs to be changed.
Can I ask you something about that?
Oh, never mind. I got it.
Yeah.
Absentee ballots. You can re-register? Okay.
Still can. I still have the forms in the office. Yep.
Well, I need to come up in the room.
Understand.
I need an absentee ballot.
Okay, I'll get you the form. And then we're not going to review bills because obviously Wendy's not here and we'll just have to do double the work next time. That's it.
Somebody should make a motion to accept the amendments to the agenda.
Make a motion to accept the changes to the agenda.
I second.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. All right. Then we will accept the approval of the meetings as changed.
Move approval of the agenda with the new changes.
Second.
Probably moved and seconded. Again, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carries.
Can I ask a question? Where is the voters registration drive going to be at?
Right on the porch at Town Hall.
Okay.
Right up front.
Okay.
So if you know somebody who's not registered, bring them.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our February 6th meeting. Had a chance to look that over. Entertain a motion on that.
Move approval of the minutes from the town council meeting on February 6th.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. All right. Public participation. Do we have any at all? All right. Moving right along. This is informational items. There she is. The Swanee River League of Cities meeting is Thursday, February the 23rd at 6 p.m. and that is where?
Live Oak.
Live Oak. That's a deal all the way.
I will be there. If anybody would like to join me, I will be going.
I think we're doing
23rd?
Thursday. This Thursday.
This Tuesday?
Okay.
Just volunteer him.
You volunteered somebody again?
Well, I heard time machine.
That would be good. All right, and then we need to take note of this Friday, the 24th. We will be having a Bread of the Mighty Food Bank mobile food drive is going to be at the park at 1 p.m. And how you will come in, and Curtis, you want to tell us how we're going to have that thing set up?
We're going to open both gates. We're going to station deputies at the back gate, at the front gate, and probably somewhere behind the barbershop. They'll come through the front part of the park, and they'll go out they can go out all the way to 24, or they can make a right on West Main. Also, we're going to let them set up at the not by the track pavilion, but the next opening with the big concession. They're going to set up right there so it'll be curbside, giving out stuff, so they won't have nobody have to turn around or anything. They just pull up, stop, they get their bags, and move on through.
Hopefully the congestion won't be too bad, and we'll send them out on 24 hours. All right. And again, back on the voter registration drive, that's March the 1st, it's 10 a.m.?
1 p.m.
Jason, that took my public hearing to ratify and approve utility rates will be at the March 6th meeting here at 5 p.m. That's before the next coming city council meeting. And then the next city council meeting will be on the same day, March the 6th at 6 p.m. There will be a job fair at the First Baptist Church on the 23rd. That is Thursday. How are you going to do that? You're going to be rolling Thursday then, aren't you?
It's March.
March.
Oh, March.
Next month.
Thank you. It gets worse, doesn't it? Thank you. Bring that to my attention. All right. Well, y'all remind me of that. So. All right. We have a candidate forum on the 30th of March, and that will be at the auditorium, or the old auditorium, now the annex building. And that is at 5:30 p.m. for the ones that are running for election. And then the last but not least is the municipal election is Tuesday, April the 4th for seats 2 and 4. Any questions or discussion on any of that? All right, Ms. Sue, you have the floor.
All right. First up on my agenda is resolution number 23-01. A resolution of the Town of Bronson and the County of Levy in the State of Florida setting forth revised standards, fees, and procedures for services provided by the town, the dissemination of information regarding same, and an effective date. So after going back and forth, I know over multiple council meetings, we talked about this. Basically, this resolution is, just for the public, I'll just go ahead and summarize it. So the water deposit would go from $40 to $100. The sewer deposit would go from $50 to $100. The trash deposit would go from $40 to $100. Regardless of whether it's residential or commercial, and regardless if it's tenant occupied or owner occupied, it's $100 for all three now. In the event that a utility customer shall fail to pay their bill within 30 days of the due date, their service would be terminated, their account would be closed, their deposit would be appropriated to the payment of their bill. And then if they want to restore service after that, it would require a brand new deposit.
So their bill's $150. You're going to take $150 from the $300, send them a check for the rest?
We're going to leave it there for right now and see what happens.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if they come to open a new account, they'll still have $150 credit. They'll only owe another $150
Correct.
to open their account. Okay.
Correct. Yep.
As long as we're not
Yep.
just putting the risk in.
And I know you haven't been at some of the last meetings, but we basically, we looked at different municipalities, what they've done. A lot of pretty much all of the municipalities are charging more than what we're charging. Ours are very low. And our goal here was, be able to take it from the deposit instead of having to lien or do whatnot. It also provides in the event we do need to do a lien, it still provides for that. Or if we do want to decide to go to collections for tenants, we can still do that as well. But we're hoping we can clean up a lot of these delinquent accounts this way.
But this don't cut down on, once we do this here and pass this here, this don't cut down on delinquent accounts from now on, right?
Correct.
So there will be no more revolving late fee every month
Correct.
until it becomes an $800 water bill.
Right, and my plan is to update, and we're going to talk about this next, but my plan is to update all of the liens that are currently out there right now because they're old, 8-9 months old. We'll get the final amount when we're closing all these accounts out, and then that'll be the lien, and then it will be set in stone. As opposed to right now where it's, whatever we filed last year, it's totally different than what it is now. It's just compounding, correct? Right. Exactly. So, we'll be able to clean up the 10 accounts or so that we have that are very, very large.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I know this is for new customers.
New only.
That's good for new customers, but the majority of your customers are still going to be old customers. So what are you going to do in a situation?
Whatever.
The $300.
Well, so from the way I read it, if new or old, if you allow your account to go 30 days delinquent, you are no longer a customer, so you will have to become a new customer and you'll have to do the $300 deposit, correct?
Correct. If they have all three utilities, correct. Correct.
That make a lot of sense.
That's how you get the 300 in, and you just put 25, 30.
Yeah, like we've been a customer for a long time.
Yeah.
If I don't pay my bill and get cut off, then I got to pay it up.
And it may not be $300 if all I'm getting is water and sewer. It's just for whatever.
Yeah.
Right, for whatever.
Correct.
Yep.
But that will cut out a bunch of this.
Yeah. That'll make everything easier.
All right.
One more question. Are we going to send customers letters letting them know this?
This is for the new customers. It's not for the old ones.
They walk in the door.
Right.
No, but I'm saying,
It's for everyone.
one of your
30
customers
days.
get turned off.
No,
And in 30 days, they know how we've been doing it.
Your bill's
So it's 30 days after they cut the water off?
It's 30 days after the due date. So if the due date, let's just use this
You
month.
let your water bill go past due 30 days, you're going to get cut off. Well, then when you go back and get turned back on, you're going to have to put this $300 deposit. Okay, I'm sorry.
But that's what I'm saying. Are you going to let the customers know? Because normally, just go back out there and turn it on. They pay them $50
They're
or.
going to be in for a
Can you
rude
send them can you send it like for the ones that when you go to cut them off, before you cut them off or they get on the wait list,
If you do
send
that.
it to those so they know that this is what you're at risk of instead of sending it to everybody. Just send it to
Yeah,
them.
just the
Because
30 of it.
Yeah, I mean, Attorney Warren put in here that we were going to publish it in the newspaper, post it online, but then for those, say, it's always the same 30 or 40
Right.
roughly. I can send a letter to those, yes. I can do that. Yep.
There will still be a late fee though, say they
There's still a 10% late fee. There's still a $50 disconnect reconnect. That hasn't gone away.
encourage people to keep the water
pay
off.
the bill.
That's correct. We're trying to encourage people to pay their bills. Correct. That's exactly it.
Now, I got one more question about that. Now, I got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't get them all cut off at the same time.
Right.
It's money.
Party.
Yeah.
Per customer or per
I got 4 accounts.
No, that's per account.
I think it may be 5. I know I got 4.
That's per account.
electric bill, if you only have one deposit, I can have a dozen houses on with Duke or whatever, but I only have to pay one deposit.
That's per house.
No, it's per account.
Per house, per
Each
meter.
resident has
So
to-
you go there,
Yeah.
Per meter, per
Yeah.
trash
you get
can.
the part where you sit up there.
That's what he said.
So don't let all 5 of those accounts go 30 days past due.
We had to come back on the council. When we re-elect, we have to pay all the money.
Right.
I'll entertain a motion. This is the first reading, correct?
No, this is a resolution.
This is a resolution, excuse me.
But it has to be published before it takes effect.
Right.
It's okay.
So
I make a motion we accept
Second.
All right, properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay, motion carries.
All right, next up. So I just want to give you an update on this one because I was so excited when it happened last week. It doesn't take much, apparently, for me to get excited. So this is the release of lien for 146 Masonic Street. So just to give you an idea, 146 Masonic was something that we did place a lien on last year. At the time when we put the lien, which was July 5th of 2022, the outstanding balance was $1,107.61. She came in to pay the balance in full last week because I'm assuming she either is trying to sell the property or I bet something's probably going on. And the outstanding balance was $2,225.99. So it had doubled since July. And that's how fast that 10% late fee, that'll just keep going and keep going. So anyway, so we're in the process of releasing this lien. I have to get this notarized by the bank, but this will come off of the lien for 146 Masonic. So that's good news. One down. 10 to go. 9 to go, whatever. All right, next up, this is mostly just for your information. So we got this report from Verisk on February 7th of this year. And basically what this is, building code effectiveness grading schedule results. It's basically a rating system for insurance companies. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but I did kind of just put some highlights here together for you. So they classify both residential properties and commercial properties. And right now our classification for 1 and 2 family residential homes is a 4, which is the same it was in 2019. And on the commercial, it went from a 3 to a 4, so it did drop down between 2019 and now. The classifications range from 1 to 10. Lower is better, higher is worse. The statewide average for residential is 4. Again, that's what ours is. And the statewide average for commercial is 3. Ours is a 4. So they reevaluate communities every 4 years or so. The biggest, I guess, score decreases if you take a look at the report. It's things like training, hours of staff training in code administration, hours of staff training in legal aspects of code administration, technical policies and procedures, plans review staffing, experience of plan examination personnel, that kind of thing. We did see an increase due to our qualifications of our building official and our inspection checklist that we use. But basically, Dave and I did talk about it at our meeting after we got the report. And he said, the town's following all the Florida building codes. And, unfortunately, technology plays a large factor in these classifications. So, for instance, the example he gave is if we allowed for, a company to put their plans in over the computer and do all that kind of, if we had everything, that we were reviewing everything online, that would give us more brownie points. But of course, we don't do that. We're too small for that. So it's not a big deal. I just wanted to bring the results to your attention. It shouldn't do anything for anybody's houses because again, the rating remained the same at 4. At 4. For commercial, it may change a little bit, but don't know. It's hard to say. So anyway, you can review the report. It's not super exciting, but just want to give it to your attention if you had any questions. Dennis, you have anything to elaborate on that? No? Okay. It goes sort of hand in hand with like the ISO that we do for the fire department. You need that? Yeah, I know, right? All right. Moving on. All right. The next is a request from John McDonald over at the EOC. And there's a whole presentation in here. But again, I'll kind of summarize what you're looking at. So basically, this company, Climavision, is requesting to put a device on our water tower. So kind of like what we did with Wi-Fi for internet, this would be for weather. So their mission is they fill gaps in traditional weather surveillance to help better prepare and respond to volatile weather situations. So one of the examples they gave in here was last year Kentucky lost 11,700 structures, estimated at $3 billion to rebuild. So the more and better information you can have is obviously more advantageous. And they say that the Midwest and the Southeast are particularly vulnerable in terms of where these weather stations are. In Tyler, Texas, they said that these gap filling, so that's what they call them, gap filling radars detected a tornado minutes ahead of the National Weather Service, which is kind of cool. For them, water towers are an ideal location because they offer obviously prime elevation with minimal disruption. The installation would take about 2 to 3 weeks for them to get the equipment up there. They would provide the county with all the data. Obviously, John wants this data at the EOC. And they would also do an annual water tower inspection in return for the town if we decided we wanted to let them put this equipment up there. And then if approved, they work with 2 companies. Enterprise Electronics Corporation, they oversee the installation and testing. And then Pittsburgh Tank and Tower Group would manufacture the platforms and oversee the system and the mounting. So that's kind of a very, very brief overview of this 30 pages or so. But basically it's just, like I said, just to give us better surveillance, the more the better.
They would pay the inspection, the yearly inspection.
Correct.
For the...
Yep, so they would inspect the water tower just to let us know if there was anything that they saw up there, just as a way of, saying thank you for letting us put this piece of equipment on the water tower.
Do you know how much the yearly inspection costs?
I don't know.
But that'd be a good thing if they would.
Yeah, if they want to do it, yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm wondering if they're just talking about looking at the outer shell.
Oh, I doubt it's looking inside. Yeah, I don't think it's what Suez does.
We have an inspection company that comes. That's what I thought.
Right. Yeah, I don't think
it won't take the place of that because for the statute we have to have a contractor.
No, that's what I thought.
I'm seeing, but
They was going to pay for that.
Yeah, maybe you check with Suez to make sure that it's not going to violate anything with them or anything that we put up that's not going to be in their way when they put their scalpel to do the deep cleaning of the tank. I don't know if they want to use theirs. I don't know what their policy. Chances are probably not want to use somebody else's scalpel and stuff to go up on top. So probably we'll find out from Suez.
Yeah, and we can.
Yeah, find out what the stipulations are for adding it,
And see if they
and then let's confirm that they're going to pay for the inspection and not just go, tank was.
What does that mean when they say?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so you want an example of what the inspection would look like or what you would actually get out of it?
Well, you can just.
Well, what they do, they'll come out, they'll check, make sure we don't have any leaks. They check the inside of the tank to make sure that none of the wells are breaking, none of the floats are damaged. They do a visual, they paint it. It's painted every 2 years. It's repainted. That's
what Suez does, you're saying?
That's Suez,
Right.
That's what they do. So, but it's kind of pricey what we pay them for the inspection.
I'd probably,
If they paying for that, that'd be great.
I'd probably make sure.
Climate vision will cover that.
I'd make sure the frequencies will mess with Wi-Fi either,
Okay.
because then your internet at town hall's gone.
Yeah, we don't have that. Definitely not.
Make
Maybe
sure
we
whatever
can get
frequency.
them to put a new gate up there. 'Cause we got about 7 locks on there. And like over the weekend, what happened? Somebody that has a key, they lock, they end up locking everybody else out. If it was an emergency, by the time you go get bolt cutters and all that, so we might need to see somebody to have a different code.
That's what I said. Get one of those ones where it's a number.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so I will check back on that and I will get back with you guys. All right, next up. This is a follow-up to last meeting, obviously, about the Florida Rural Water Association water and wastewater capacity fee study. Just trying to get direction from the board as to have you guys had a chance to think about this over the last couple weeks, and if so, have you decided on doing the remaining useful life or doing the replacement value? And again, if you guys decide to go with the remaining useful life for, let's see, Water, it was 1,220. Replacement value on water is 2,750. Remaining useful life on sewer is 5,720, and replacement value on sewer is 9,780.
Any thoughts?
What's your input?
The ARPA list? The list, the ARPA list?
No. We're on the capacity fee study by Florida Rural Water. Councilor Hunt's asking, what would you recommend between using the remaining useful life versus the replacement value?
Like right now, like with our sewer, we was looking at it today, we probably spent 55,000, 56,000, but we have to look, nothing had been done to the sewer in its conception. So the maintenance of it, we do the maintenance like it should be done, that's going to extend the life. Right now we're pretty much starting over for it. We just had all the valves replaced. We had blowers on the list tonight. I think I got a request for some surge pumps. Those things, the valves have been replaced. So I think that has increased the life of the pump of the lift of the sewer plant. But this thing, we were never at capacity. I think we probably only been maybe like 35, 38% capacity. With everything coming on, if we get everybody in sewer, then quite naturally, the percentage of the use of it's going to go up. And the more you use something, it's going to wear out something. The more you neglect something, it's going to wear out. So I think it's been neglect pretty much for the things that we're needing right now. So to place a value on it, like if you look at the valves, look at the pumps, look at those things, we're in pretty good shape for the extended life of the plant. We had spray fields we've done. So we've done a great deal in the last year and a half, last 2 years to correct some things and pretty much to extend the life of the plant itself. But something can break tomorrow. For the water, we are having the wells redone. We're looking at everything to pretty much look at where the looping problem is. They're going to be coming during spring break to address that issue, which I think it is the valve in front of the elementary school. So that's going to help the water, water pressure when you turn on water or a fire hydrant. I think that's going to help that issue. So with the wells being redone, I think pretty much we're in pretty good shape for the extended life of our water plant. The water tower, we have the maintenance on it, so anything that goes wrong with that, they're right on the spot with that. So I think we're in pretty good shape for the extended life of our water and sewer. If we keep going in the direction that we're going, fixing things, not letting things just stay idle and not fix it. So if they had to put a year on it, it depends on what we do to make sure that it stays running properly. I think Todd and Twofold, they're doing a great job with addressing the issues, letting me know what's going on. Or if I have a question, if I ask something, if I see something not right, they come out, we look at it, we come together, put our heads together, and we figure out, okay, this needs to be replaced, that needs to be replaced. So I think the upkeep of all our water and sewer is going to add to the extended life of it. And what we're doing now is extending the life of it.
Has Todd looked at this?
Mm-hmm. Andrew, but not Todd. Mm-mm.
Who is?
Andrew from Florida Rural Water,
right.
But not Todd.
I would just, because, and I think Curtis, you'll agree with this, and basically what we're looking at here is trying to read the future here of where we're going. And there's several different avenues we can travel here. Sue and I are working on working on this one situation. We want to see how that would affect it. Todd's situation out there, and Twofold, what they're doing for us out there, and like you say, they've got us up to pretty well, everything's getting close to standards out there where we need to be at. We just need to get more people involved in it, where the capacity is up, and hopefully that will come. But again, these new people, just like this new subdivision that we're talking about, they need to be a part of the future here. They need to be paying, they need to pay for their fair share. So that's why I say, Todd, where does can he look at, kind of project to us what were things that we may have to do for the near future?
Well, and you got to remember, though, that this is whatever you guys decide. If you decide to do something here, that money's got to go aside in another account for growth. This isn't to maintain the plant or anything. So, I mean, I can certainly have Todd look at it, of course. And Councilor Hunt, I know you weren't here last week or last meeting when she made the presentation, but she did say that first and foremost, you can't make up a number. Like, it has to be defendable in court. So we either have to go with the remaining useful life or the replacement value. One of the guys who works in the Public Works Department of Williston was here and advised us that they picked a willy-nilly number, and now they've been sued and they have to pay back all of those millions of dollars of impact fees that they have collected. So we have to go with one of these, even though they are large numbers. We have to either go with one of these or we can't go with anything else. We can't just make up $1,000 or $1,500. Do you want me to reach out to Todd and just get his opinion? And
again, I'm just looking for people that's in the business, has a little bit more knowledge on this stuff and what we can look for.
Sure.
Everything is costing more and more. We all know that. The what ifs that you and I have discussed, just like what we will be presenting here in just a few minutes. That's a change. That's a change of what she looked at when she did this.
Yep.
That is just fixing to change.
Yep.
And basically on what we're fixing to announce in just a few minutes. So all those things factor into making a decision on this.
Okay.
So, and I don't want to make a irrational decision based on something that's not true. That's my personal feeling.
Okay.
Now these fees, let's say the complex they want to build over here, would it be for each individual house or just the whole?
Each house.
And the company would actually have to pay it, right?
Correct.
They'll push it on.
And so,
I mean, they're going to include it in the price of the house.
Companies coming in making this money, I think the replacement value would be better because they're coming in making this money. It's not like the residents gonna have to pay it. The
Correct.
company gonna have to pay it. So no, the company will.
Well, when they buy the house.
It's all residents.
It's all, but it's all in, the payment. But all this, you're gonna be using a lot of material,
But they're paying
and we
for
know
installs
what we've
too.
already did. So, and this money can only be used for, enlarging the growth.
Well, I mean, it sounds like a lot of money, but even let's just use this development as an example. $12,530 times 50 new houses is $626,000. I know that sounds like a lot of money, but you're talking about expanding. Right, you're talking about expanding. We're going from 220 connections to 270 connections for sewer. And that's a big jump. Somebody's got to pay for that. That's the point.
So that's where I said, we look at, you go to these companies that you do business with, twofold. You go to the people that we get to help us put in the sewer lines whenever we put them in. Just like what we're fixing to talk about here in just a few minutes. I keep jumping the gun here because we put the cart in front of the horse here. We need to look at those, to factor those in to what would be the cost of putting that sewer system in just for out there. If we could get somebody to give us a close proximity to what those would be, that would give us a lot more guidance.
It'll be way more than 600 something.
You're talking about the home. See, that's where, you know, I didn't know. I learned a little bit more than I did in the beginning. You know, why should the town go out and get grants to do stuff that builders going to benefit from? And then after the grant is gone, we left with trying to suffice and take care of something that grant money did that we didn't have money to do in the beginning. So the companies should be, like right now with that new subdivision, they should be made to put in their water, their sewer, and that when sewer do come down Main, it's nothing but to be connected. Why should we get a grant? Because now we get grants, and the people that we get grants and we put in sewer in their neighborhood, they really can't afford it.
And this is what this money set aside would be for.
Right. So, but we should, like these new developments, we should make them pay for it.
I agree.
The town shouldn't be trying to get a grant to do something, and then you stuck with the after effect of the grant is to get you there. It's not to sustain you.
That's what the fees are for.
But I'm just saying, but if we don't do something now, we don't input this stuff now, and we just keep saying, you know, we're going to have other things, we're going to be just like in a lot of where sewer or water's running by, but there's no connection. And then we just say, hey, people got to be connected. Why should the citizens that's here have to foot the bill for anything new coming in?
I agree. All right.
So you want to get some more information and report
I
back?
just think we need to get some more information before we make a decision on this.
All right. I'll check with Todd. I'll check with Jason at Mid Tower. See if I can get you guys some more information.
And we come up with some kind of average on, you know, just anything to support the decision, is what I'm saying. Y'all have thoughts on that?
Aren't these rates really inflated right now because we don't have a lot of connections? So if we were to get a grant and connect the whole town, these rates would be way.
And we can do new studies. I mean, let's say that, you know, we have a grant out there, you know, that we applied for to basically double our number of connections. And let's say now we have 440 people on sewer. Yeah, we could do another rate study, and more than likely that number would drop significantly at that point. But again, it's because we don't have very many, and they're so spread apart.
These are higher than the city of Gainesville rates.
They're higher than a lot of
Pretty much
places.
everybody's.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I'm hesitant about pushing the higher numbers, because they're inflated.
I get it.
So we're discouraging people to come get connected basically by throwing a fee at them rather than getting it other places.
Yeah.
Raising rates.
Okay. I'll get more information.
All right.
I'll report back. Okay, next up is we put together, again, I'm going to keep pushing the ARPA money because, again, we have a deadline of December 31st to spend $400 and something thousand. So we put together kind of a wish list. I'm going to use the wish list like this is a wish from a lot of different people, not just myself, but, you know, things that we've asked the council for over the last couple of years. Things the mayor Parton has asked to be put on this list. So the first two items on the list are things we've already committed to. So the second well pump for the $26,900, we've already committed to that. We haven't spent it, but we've committed. The 2023 Chevy Silverado, $71,234. Again, we've committed to it. I mean, it's not technically on order yet because it got thrown off of an order and we have to reorder it. But again, I know the town wants that. And then the next 12 things on here are things we've talked about. And I guess the reason I'm kind of putting this before the council is I just want to get an idea as to whether or not you guys want to move forward with one or more or all or whatever of these things on here, because some of these things require us to go out to bid. Some are going to require, you know, Curtis to do additional things for them. So I'm just going to kind of go through and I'll get your take on, you know, what we want to do. So first thing is the dump trailer, which I think is somewhere around $12,000. I'm pretty sure the council wants that. We've already talked about that multiple times.
For the same set for gooseneck like we talked about before?
Yeah,
It's going to be more than that.
Okay, and again, these
Maybe about
numbers,
17. I just bought one.
these
like,
numbers
last
are
week,
what
and
we
it
had
was
when we
11 grand.
first, right, so I mean, they could be off. So 17, you think is what the number is now?
Maybe about 17, yeah. 'Cause I bought what, a 16-foot bumper pull last week and it was 11 grand.
Okay. Council Hunt, did you have a question?
Well, I mean, we've already approved multiple items on here. I don't know what we're having to approve again.
Well, again, this is because these are going to be spent with ARPA money. I just want to make sure we're all good with spending the money this way too.
That's what I'm saying. We've talked about approved, like a dump trailer. I think that's like a year old conversation.
Okay, so that's for sure. Okay. Mayor Parton wanted us to look at doing new computers for several of the computers that are older, desks and chairs for town hall, which I'm perfectly okay with if you guys are okay with upgrading equipment in that way.
Only thing I have to input, as long as the wastewater facility doesn't need anything whatsoever out there or anything with the water, then we can start buying stuff for town hall. But if there's pumps, valves, anything twofold says needs to be done, if there's any of that, we need to use all that money to fix all those things, and then we'll move forward with a digital sign for $25,000, a deck, things like that. We need to make sure that there's nothing wrong with that wastewater facility before we even think about buying a digital sign.
And I agree with you. I mean, anything that's listed water, sewer, those would be the things that I would say we want to focus on first. And then we can certainly look at, once we've done that. So water and sewer, let's go back to water and sewer. So Curtis is asking for 4 backup grinder pumps.
Get them.
Anybody have an issue with that?
No.
Okay. 2 backup lift stations.
Get them.
25,000. Good to go with that.
I need them.
Okay. Tractor. I'm going to let Mayor Parton talk about the tractor.
We looked at a 5 with the front end grapple, so for cleaning up and stuff like that. That's what this price is. With a mower, new mower, grapple in the bucket, correct? That's a state bid right there for $41,000.
Would a skid steer be more useful than...
More expensive, much more
Well, you just said
expensive.
you won't have a mower.
Skid steer is $100,000. Blue price. I got prices on that too.
I thought we were talking about this in the tractor before.
We did.
85,000 for a mini X? What size mini X?
The salt pump. I think we need that.
We've got there's a request for quote out there right now, so hopefully that's going to be a yes.
A bid for that, didn't we? Yeah. When does that close?
Which one?
The bids, like when can we make a
The sump
bid on
pump
that?
closes for the next meeting,
Okay.
and then the new roof on the fire station closes for the meeting after that.
Did we ever get the tools we talked about getting? We talked about getting new hand tools. We got them?
I got those on the list.
They're on the list?
On the list.
Okay.
So I guess the only other 2 on here would be the tractor and the mini excavator.
What size mini excavator for 85 grand?
50 horse.
What's it called?
Mini excavator.
50G.
Working with the
Instead of having a big front end bucket loader out there, you just have a little mini track machine with a bucket about yay wide on it. It'd be easier for sure.
That's for loading stuff.
No, digging pipes. And,
Legal pipe?
Yeah, that'd be a new
I don't know
hookup.
what it is. I know.
is that with like a thumb, a trenching bucket,
Yes. 2 buckets.
a new trailer? to pull it?
Back blade on it.
Do not have a trailer in that vehicle. But
Well, our trailer, none of the trailers we got is gonna hold up, so we don't have to have a new one.
well, believe it or not, the bucket trailer.
Dump trailer.
The dump trailer, yeah, the dump trailer will, yeah.
The dump trailer will.
Yeah, the dump trailer will.
Have we purchased any of these items yet?
No.
I've been talking about that for the last 6-8 months.
Yeah.
Well,
I know one thing with the gooseneck trailer, we didn't have anything to pull it with.
Yeah, we still don't do it.
You know, so, but we have the other truck being worked
Will it move?
on. That, yeah.
Is it at Robbie's or wherever it needs to be?
Yeah, we got it at the park. We getting with Chevrolet, we're trying to get a van for it. Galen.
There's a bed, that silver place over there, and Chief got a flatbed. Yeah, it's got a I passed all those days when everybody did it. You just stick the thing down there and put your goose neck. They got a flatbed. I don't know what they want for it.
Okay. A truck flat, just a bed or just a truck?
It's a flatbed. It's the bed. You go on the truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dump trailer probably like 17, something like that, I think.
Did you call Curtis on about that?
No, we didn't have a chance today. We were doing some stuff, but
Either Big Texas, you can come Texas Trailers in Gainesville, or the
we already got-
not Texas,
we already got
what's the one in Ocala? You dump, I think.
Yes, you don't. That's where we got the quote from last time. So,
Any other discussion?
That's all input I have.
I do have a list of tools. You know,
Let's hear it. Let's hear
Whatever
it.
else Curtis got on that list.
and put that like all the small pump for water leaks that, you know, instead of using the big one, we got one today. On my list, 3 sawzalls. I want to establish each truck to have one. 3 new crimplers for the poly. 4 pair of meter pliers. 4 small 1-prong rakes. 3 ratchet sets for meter bands. 3/4 drills for putting bands on. 2 small blowers. 3 pair of chainsaw chaps. 2 weeders for the inmate work crew. 4 adjustable wrenches. I looked at what they're using now for tapping. It's a little bit more, but it's a lot easier to get the band. I worked with the county today. They showed me how to do it. It came out. So I don't know if we can go out and just buy those bands, those tap saddles now, but we need to get those. They're a lot easier, a lot simpler to put on. The risk of cracking a pipe or over tightening is minimized. So I would like to get some of those.
What kind of equipment besides weed eaters you gonna have for the inmate crew? You gonna have stuff to cut limbs and trees?
Yeah, we just bought a new pole saw.
You probably gonna need more.
And then too with the inmate work crew, like what's happening with the inmate work crew now, they have inmates, but they have limited number that can go outside the gate right now. We're supposed to have 4, we can only get 2. And they're not really coming where they really trained to do certain stuff right now. So we really have to find out, kind of take the work, can you do this? But I'm not in the business, I'm going to put them just like the other guys. I'm not going to put a chainsaw in their hand and stuff like that so we can get them trained. You know, I don't want nobody to get hurt. Because, with the paperwork, they hadn't been trained and there's no paperwork saying that they were trained at DOC or they was trained with us. So you got to be kind of careful what we do
100%.
with them right now.
Speaking of that,
Good call.
is that number subject to change, sir?
Well, right now, they have inmates, but by DOC requirements, they can't go outside the gate. So the number that can leave the facility is limited right now. They're going through a crisis right now where there are plenty of inmates, but there's one that can go outside the gates. Right. So
Hey, on your hand tool list you're talking about, like the drills and sawzalls and stuff, let's get them matching. Let's do power inverters on the trucks and chargers. That way batteries
we
don't
talked about that.
Batteries don't got to leave the trucks. They're not
Right.
getting left at the town hall on the rack.
Yeah, I got that. Everybody had a charger for small batteries.
Yeah, and everybody will have their batteries in the charging station on board.
Yeah.
Keep them
I'll tell you something
unified.
else you might can do, if it's possible, that bucket truck, put your, I don't know if that proper handle or not, but you could buy tools and work off the hydraulic, the trim with, and do all this kind of stuff. That same saw you hold up,
Yeah, we definitely need.
that same pole saw you usually do this in them here. They make tools and bits to go on those trucks in order to, you could work on hydraulic.
I don't think that pump on that one's big
You
enough.
think big enough?
I think what they did with that, they kind of made shift.
Yeah, but another thing is you can also do is too now, if that pump ain't strong enough, you could probably put another whole different,
Outside tank.
outside tank is motor.
Let's take, we already got about $37,000 in that truck.
We might want to just buy another truck.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know,
You're better off to buy a PTO-driven one instead of...
you know, we got,
Strong motor.
it's a lot of money that's spent.
See, you talking about spending money on stuff. I don't know if we can spend money on something like that or not, but that would be a good thing, a good investment is to buy a truck that you can, got the right kind of hydraulics that you can trim with, because our streets, see, we get the inmates, but all they're going to be, see, like me, they're going to be able to do for a while, they're going to weed eat. So we need limbs trimmed bad on just about every street in Bronson. High, side, and so if we could run a bucket truck, it doesn't have to be no big in that.
Just the hydraulic have to solve that.
Like the service being used for
The skid steer or the Mickey was telling me, it was one of those things that we was looking at. They have the attachment for that.
We'll come back with actual quotes.
That you can buy the attachment for.
Trying to make sure they,
Yeah,
we know what
on the
we
track.
want to do, that's all.
Have that attachment.
but the hydraulics are way better.
And I have one big ticket
These two are the two that we
item.
need to really talk.
I'd like to get us a gator that has a cab for reading meters. Simple as like when in the wintertime, the person is out reading the meters. When they cold, they cold. There's nothing, you know. and I can say it because I'm out there also, you know, and it's kind of, it's one of those things where, I mean, if it rains, you get wet. You know, the AC is not so much, but having a heater in the wintertime when you're reading, you know, if you get out, you got to read it manually. You still, you go, there's no warming up, you know.
We can simply, you got to go out and read the staff. I think we read from the office.
No, that's why we
Not yet.
it's been probably about 5 years, 10 years from that.
How much one of those cost, Curtis?
About $30,000. And the kind that I want to get is, for example, that has the back seat, so it'll only be, that won't be only be used for reading the meters, but then at the council, if Sue they want to show somebody the park, you know, you can get some people on it to drive through the park. But I think it's something that'd be a good use, you know, especially for the people that read the meters, and I'm one of them, so. And I know Celeste, you know, she's out there a lot. And it's, I tell you, cold on the morning, 7:30 in the morning when it's cold.
Yeah. It's cold.
It's cold. You know. Yeah. And sometimes I tell, you know, hey, we're going to use the truck, because, I mean,
But that money, the money cover that too?
Yeah.
Write it down there.
Wastewater.
Down, got
Put it
it.
on the list.
Get it.
Put it on the list.
That money, get it. Ain't gonna talk
We'll
about
start spending this money instead of just talking.
As long as you guys are good with it, we're going to start get you quotes.
Do we
then.
need any motions for anything or what?
No, I mean, I'm just looking for,
Get it done. Curtis, you got it.
All right, so
It's all in process now.
yeah.
is there anything on this list that you guys are vehemently opposed to and you want me to take it off and not consider it? How's that?
So that $461,000 attorney's fee, that's off the table.
That's off the table, yeah.
So what? Your total down at the bottom goes 560.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, it's more. Yeah, I mean, right. We can't do all of this, right?
Yeah, Curtis just added.
He just added 50,000. Yeah.
So we're gonna focus on the things that say water and sewer first, and then if there's anything left, then we.
And everything on Curtis's list.
Okay.
And then if there's anything left over, we'll start with the town hall and work our way down.
Okay. Okay.
Because it'll make it more the handicap accessible.
We got another quote today. Actually, we just came in to do the
Put
job.
the gate on there.
That's, everything Curtis got on the list.
Okay.
Everything.
So,
I want a new truck.
Curtis, you got that on the list?
yeah.
Well, you got a
I want to
lot of
replace truck 7.
Well, that's another thing we have discussed.
Another list.
We get this new flatbed in, and it'll be coming this year sometime during the year.
Sometime.
Now we'll have 3 brand new trucks, and we need to get rid of old Otter, whatever that's all called.
That's the best running truck. We need to put some. But Russell truck is on its last. I don't know if we want to put any more money in it, but it's on.
Thing is so old.
Yeah, they don't put a motor in it before, and it's just, it ain't.
It's got a barrel wheel.
Ranger don't die.
And then you can do a lot of ride.
All right.
Okay, so anything water and sewer, including the tractor, including the mini excavator, that is our marching orders. And then after whatever's left after, then we can look at stuff for town hall. We're all in agreement with that. Amen. All right. That's what I need. All right, last thing on my list today is Florida Municipal Insurance Trust is looking for people to serve on their board of trustees. It has to be somebody who is an elected official of the municipality participating in the trust. Didn't know if anybody was interested. If they are, please let me know.
Didn't I hear you?
You want to sit on the board of trustees for FMIT?
Councilman Voorhees was talking.
I was going to volunteer my skills since I had 14 years of insurance, and then when I called today, I said, does that have to be elected? And they said yes. And I said, okay, that wouldn't be me. So,
What does that do?
just, you sit on the board. It tells you, you have to go to one meeting a quarter. They pay for your expenses. It would be a good experience for you if you're interested.
Nobody else wants to do it. I'll do it.
I mean, you don't have to do it. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying-
Nobody else wants to.
All right, Curtis, come up here and talk to us.
All right.
Well, I pretty much already done. We talked about 2-4 water, the surge pump.
They got to vote on that, though.
They try to explain it to you. They are the pumps that on the front digesters. There's 2 pumps. We just used the last one. Actually, we have 4 digesters that run off surge pumps, and it's 4. It's 2 in one tank, and then you have 2 other tanks that each have a pump for a total of 4. I just put the last spare that we had. We don't have any more. So that's the order that's on the list for 2 more of those new pumps. So that one of those go out while we have the money. We already have the pump. Just a matter of just taking one out, putting another one in for the surge pump. That's what 2 for.
They need to vote on that.
Make a motion to accept the quote from 2-4 Water Engineering for the surge pump replacements.
I second.
Properly moved and second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Others saying carried.
Alamo Estates, that's the new subdivision on Main Street.
Tell them what happened last week. I want them to know that.
Earlier this week, last week, I think it was Thursday or Friday.
Thursday.
They got a call and they were getting ready to tap into our main water line to run their 8-inch water line. Our main is a 6. They wanted to tap in, which you can do, and put an 8-inch water main. I guess it's going to be running in the center of their subdivision. I told them, no, let me get with this town manager because, there's no way we can meter the water. If they put in a line in, they're going to be using water.
No, yeah.
So there's no way to meter the water. So it hit a snag with them as they hadn't pulled any permits to do a lot of the stuff. The plans were approved, but they hadn't gotten permits to do the job. And so that's where we are now with that. I think they are trying to lay the pipe. My thing is with them, if we allow them the first couple of homes to have septic, they need to go ahead and put in sewer lines and sewer stub outs for all the rest of the homes at their expense. And that's why I was talking about when sewer do come down Main, it's just a matter of them tying in. That's what I was saying. Why should the town have to pay for that?
I'm going to take over from there, Chris. So it was a It was a rough day on Thursday, I can tell you that, because the two people who were trying to do this, which are the developers, the guy was the one who developed Town of Tioga, just to let you know, that's his credentials. So they basically came in and tried to strong arm me and say, well, you know, you're holding us up and time is money and we just want to do this. And I was like, whoa. We're not there yet. Like, obviously there's a disconnect as to what you guys are planning on doing. And then I said, and, you know, I haven't heard you guys say anything about sewer. And the guy said, what do you mean sewer? He goes, these houses are all going on septic. And I said, no. The first couple of houses are going on septic. That's what we agreed to. And, you know, they argued back and forth and they said, no, your council said nothing about sewer. You know, we're planning on putting all 50 of these houses on septic. And I said, absolutely not. So let me go back and look at my plans. And he was like, well, the plans were already approved. Well, yeah, the plans were approved. The ones that are sitting in my office are for the first 2 houses. Correct. Not the whole 50. We're not even there yet. This is just for the first 2. And, you know, same argument that Curtis and I have been saying all along is, why would we let you put 52 brand new houses on septic, which then we're going to have to get a grant or whatever to then convert those all back over to sewer later? And how are we going to do that? We're going to say to DEP or whoever, DEO, yeah, we'd like you to give us a grant of whatever X amount of $1 million to convert these to sewer, and they were built in 2023. Don't you think that the state would say to us, well, why didn't they go on sewer originally?
No, we get it. Amen.
I mean, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
So we're at a crossroads with the developer, just to let you know. We're having a meeting, Dave, myself, maybe Curtis, the developer and the engineer, to get on the same page about the permits and the water main and the sewer, and hopefully hash this all out tomorrow, because...
So he told you that we was holding them up and they've been starting for 6 months?
Holding up the water, being able to tap into the water.
That's what I'm saying. He told you that we was holding them up and they've been starting for 6 months?
Correct. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So the reason I wanted to bring this up, sorry, Curtis, is because I wanted to make sure that the council is all on the same page, that we do not want 52 brand new houses on septic, correct?
No.
Okay. Because that was, that's why I said, I'm like, I don't know why the council would want that, but I just want to make sure you guys are, you know, have said that out loud.
With the other 40-something homes going, they're still zoned as agriculture too, right?
Right, and we also have to get that all rezoned because it's zoned as ag right now. It has to be zoned residentially.
How close is the sewer going to be to where they at?
Would you say it's a quarter of a mile?
Yeah, it probably would be easier to go and get permits from the state to go up under 27 and run along 27 to 32 to the far side of 32 and go past the school. The school is on sewer to connect there, but you probably going to need a pumping station or a lift station somewhere in between there. Yeah. Or 2 lift stations. You know, the alternative, which if you go west on Main, back up to Fairground, and then go tie into there, but they're going to need a lift station there
too,
because it's in the bottom. And see, and you know, I got to quote probably about $1.5 million to put a lift station on Fairground.
So that that's pre-Jason live on.
Yeah.
And Fairground and not Fairground. Yeah, you live on Fairground.
I live on Fairground, yeah.
And Main Street, there's a lift station right there where Johnny did in the house where, what's the name of that?
It's on the corner of Court Street in Main.
Yeah, Court Street.
Yeah. Yes,
So that one, you have to go down Main Street?
You still would have to put one somewhere around Glover Street.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I was just saying that wouldn't it be easy to do that, try to go on the 27th? Well, you have to go on 27 anyway.
That'd probably be best on the 27th.
Would be a shorter route, but then if you try to pick up the houses on Glover Street, you might well get
just making sure we can.
You know, if you're gonna have a lift station, I mean,
And I want all them homes to be on sewer, but at the same time, if those people show up and go, all right, we're about to move forward with these next 50, you want them on sewer, when is your sewer line going to be down here so we can...
Yeah, they need to go ahead and put the sewer in, put these sewer lines
That's
in.
what I'm saying. We can't, at that point, we can't hold them up by going, hey, well, we're not ready for y'all.
No, but if they go ahead and put the sewer, you know, and the water, you know, because this is the thing, they were going to put in an 8-inch line. You're going to tell me they're going to use water for buildings when they start getting ready to mix mud for the foundation. They're going to use water, you know, but it's going to be unmetered water. And then I think you got to put some kind of filtration right where it connects to the 6 inch. You got to have some chlorine. You got to, there's some things other than just tapping into it.
Correct. So that they backfeed into it, then it's going to contaminate the whole system.
Right.
Right, because it's going to get dead end.
Yep.
And so, wow. And I think that, it was one of those things where, and the guy,
Oh, they are.
he because if he didn't think it was right, he wouldn't have called. He would have, if it was right, he would have did it.
So he was trying to cut a corner if he could.
He
He was
was.
trying to get it okay over the phone, so he could go.
And I told him,
the guy on the phone, he said okay.
basically, yeah.
Thought y'all was country.
You thought you were country.
So I guess my question would be, if they're only if the other houses are going to be on sewer, how far away are we to being ready to connect when they build the other houses?
Exactly.
Because we can't tell them that those houses are going to have to be on sewer if it's going to be 2033 before we get
Well, see,
before they connect.
and this is the thing too, for them to get water for those 3, that we could put 3 meters, a meter for each house off our own land. Mm-hmm.
But no, how long? Like when they build the other houses, they start building them, and we want them to be on sewer. They're going to want to connect to sewer. How far away are we?
No, what I'm saying is that they don't have to be on sewer. They can go ahead and put the pipes and put the stub outs. Because that would, then when sewer do come down, man, it's just a matter of tying in right there instead of trying to lay pipe for all 50.
So they have to put them on septic first and then convert them over?
Yeah, just put the pipes and the stub out. Where they would have the septic tank, they have a stub out. So that stub out will be closed off. So when they have the sewer pipe, so when sewer do come, all they gotta do is connect to the road.
Same thing everybody else gonna have to do.
If they don't put the sewer pipes in before they build, then there's gonna be a problem.
Right.
That pipe got to go in first.
Right.
That's got to be a part of the foundation, and then they build your bill. You can't build and then put the sewer. All that got to go first.
Because you have a problem. Once they put their roads in, they're not going to tip their roads till they sewer.
That makes sense.
So, but it was, at the council discretion, and if you don't want to do that.
See, they said there's going to be a 3 for right now. Then later on, they're going to build the rest of them. It's not going like they're going to build 53 houses.
Right now.
At one time, they're going to build 3 houses. And what I understood them to say on that curve, and later on, they're going to build the rest of them. That's what I understood when we talked about it, way back when the rain came in. Way back.
So you think it'd be about $1.5 million to get sewer pipe down there to them?
With the lift station, probably 2 lift stations. A lift station itself going to be like that.
Yeah, probably 600,000, 500,000.
Because if you put one, you would need one sort of like at the clinic. That would be ought to be all because it's all be force main.
Yeah.
So you can't put gravity.
This money we got, can we use it for that?
You can, but you don't have enough.
Well, I'm just saying though.
We could get us about 2 streets down.
Yeah.
Can't use it enough.
It ain't going. It's just going to be a drop in the bucket.
Okay. I just wondered though.
Well, and that's the question too. I mean, you guys can mandate that's up to you that they do the entire thing themselves. They put the sewer into the 50 houses and they make that connection to where it needs to go. I mean, that's up to you. I mean, that was kind of my thought originally was, hey, you're the ones who are doing this development. You got to make it work. Whatever you need to do, it's got to be connected and you got to make it work.
Those 3 houses down from the school board on that corner there, are they sewer or are they septic?
On Marshall?
Yeah.
It's sewer. All except the one that's sitting in the back. The one at 110, the one that's right on issue.
That was some money in the work, yeah.
That one is not on sewer.
All right.
Inmate work crew, like I was saying earlier, it all depends on what the inmates can do for having this. It's a lot of things that we can have them do, but that they're not qualified or skilled to do it.
But see, a lot of times you can take the crew, like the bill and stuff like that, and brush the debris, they can pick that up. They may not can't run their summer. Then we got people that can do that kind of stuff. So they'll help. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, they'll help. because like right now, we're freeing the guys up in the morning because they're cleaning the park. They're cleaning the bathrooms, doing, stuff that we normally take, an hour and a half of our time doing that every morning. So that time is freed up so that we can address other stuff. Doing the cycle where we were exchanging the meters and stuff, going in every meter box, we found quite a few leaks, valves, not no major leaks, but things that we can address to do. So we spend time doing that. And they'll be a help to painting a lot of stuff that, that we normally would do. That's not a part of really public works, with the painting, picking up limbs, picking up trash. I haven't heard any kickback from the park yet. We have a sign that we put at the entrance of the park, inmate work crew. That's why we try to get them there early to get everything done so we can keep them in the general area. But they out at the park right now.
What time do you get in now?
We try to get in there by 8 o'clock. We can pick them up like 7, between 7 7:15. By the time we drive back from Trenton, it's about 40 to 8.
So you go there first?
Yes. But right now, what we're going to try, Chad, he lives in Trenton, so we take the truck home and pick him up. Instead of making 4 trips, he's just coming here and going back.
Yeah.
So he'll be right there.
Okay, and this is, Sue and I, we wanted to put it out to the council, of course, that if you got something on your projects or that you need to do or you need them to put it on your list, okay? And give it to her for, projects that you want to see.
Going to depend on the skill.
Right, that's correct. And if we have, when we started this thing, we're going to have a full crew. Now we're down to just 2 people. So.
And let me share something. I have more departments than I have people. I have 7 departments, and there's only 5 of us. The inmate work crew is going to take up, in the mowing. Hopefully we can get them acclimated with mowing the sewer plant, mowing both water towers, weeding, doing the park,
Cemetery.
Like when the cemetery, like when the grass is growing, we can spend 3 days a week, doing that. By the time we do the park one side, it's time to go back to the other side.
Yeah.
So it's going to be,
City of Williston has 3 men dedicated to nothing but mowing grass.
So it's going to be.
We'll be able to utilize it
yes.
more, for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Are we getting a landing?
So
Sounds good, Curtis. Thank you, sir.
So we're going to numbers.
One day. Hi, Mr. Jason.
Chief Russell, how are you, sir? What's wrong with the bays at the fire station?
What's wrong with the bays?
It says bays at the current fire station.
I have no idea.
You need to talk about, yes, you do.
Leaving your 2 trucks
The
there?
2
Is that what
trucks
it
in
says?
the current.
Oh, we're talking about here, old station.
Yeah,
Correct.
current.
Okay. Back in 2018, 2019, when we first started this, when Mr. Weeks was on the board, when we talked about building a new firehouse, there was issues about people's insurance rating dropping. ISO has not given us a current rating because we're not in the new station yet. So, at that time, I brought up, and you can find it in the minutes, because I know it's in the minutes, because Ms. B says, once you leave, you're gone. Remember that?
I say what?
Once we leave this station, we're gone.
Yeah.
But there was discussion because people outside the 5-mile road miles for ISO. So, being that we went a mile further this way, it affected the people that was in that either direction it would benefit those people that already, the people that would benefit from it now would not do it. That was a big concern that Mr. Weeks had. So I told Mr. Weeks and the council at that time, we may have to keep a truck at this station.
Wait a minute.
Look, hang on, because I got comments here. I'm finished.
Okay, thank you.
Being that ISO hasn't given us a rating on it, I don't know whether it's going to benefit us or whether it's not going to benefit us. You, as the council, can change your mind and say we're done and we're not going to be in there. That's in your discretion. The problem is that the people, like I told Vernon at that time, that we're going to do everything we can not to change the rating for those people on that end.
Let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
Is the rating going to change for anyone in the city limits of Bronson that pays taxes here?
Not in the city.
Okay, we're okay there.
That we're good there. It's not going to change in the city. We're still right.
My recollection is not that good sometimes, sometimes it is.
All right.
But it seemed like to me, you told Mr. Weeks that it would not have an effect
on people in the city.
In the city.
It's only going to affect county people.
I'm talking about, I think, like I said, my regulation,
Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to say. It may not be that good. but if my recollection is like I think it is, you said we're going to have no effect because brother went on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
And on. Right. And that was discussed because ISO told us that they did not believe that it would affect anybody from that end, but if it did, then
There was no but though.
we'd have to do something different. They said they didn't believe that it
I'm almost certain what you told us.
Yeah, but I don't know what.
I think our ISO rating is going to be hurt if we keep this facility.
Because we don't have the manpower.
We don't have the manpower. We're already not having 4 people to a call on some calls, which hurts us on our ISO rating. And we just, that's going to hurt us. So when a new facility opens, we need to shut the old facility down. And unfortunately, the folks that are 1 mile outside of the perimeter call John Meeks and tell him to build you a fire station.
Hey, that's like I said, that's a discretion of y'all.
I mean, unfortunately, we have to do what's best for the people
in the city
limits of Bronson. And unfortunately, them folks that don't live in the city, well, we've been helping them for many years on their insurance rate because they're close to us. Well, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to help them folks anymore because we built a new fire station. Truly do apologize, but we're doing what's best for everybody in this community that pays taxes in this community.
We don't need no two spots.
You and I've discussed this before.
And I know, and I've been there with the ISO man, and I've listened to him, and that's going to hurt us.
And I think you can challenge too, because there's no way in the world we're not updated. We're fixing to get new trucks. We got a new facility. Yeah, we're moving them. How far is it from here to there?
About a mile.
Just 1 mile.
We'd have to argue that in court.
It's not affecting the people in our 4 square mile radius.
No, within the city, it's not affecting anybody. It's just on the outskirts.
So that's affected by the change.
Exactly.
So Dennis, here's a question. So from the new fire station to the furthest end of town limits, wherever that is, that is not more than 5 miles, correct?
No.
Anyway, any direction.
Any direction, we are 4 square miles of the city.
Okay.
So that us moving from there or from here to there is not going to affect anything in the city limits whatsoever.
Okay. So it really was just a county conversation.
Unfortunately, it's just them folks in the county, and like I said, I'm sorry, but sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles.
You're out there at 102 somewhere in that neighborhood before it's affected.
Yeah, I'm out on 106 court. It'll affect mine.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Chief. I mean,
but it is what it is. I mean, with the new truck and having the trucks, we're able to provide it. Once we build.
What will happen is if we keep that facility and our ISO rating gets worse, then it's going to start affecting the people in the city limits, right. And that's what I don't want.
Right, and that's what you
want
it
affecting them just by trying to help the folks that don't pay taxes here.
Yeah.
Because then it's going to end up hurting the folks that do pay the taxes in the long run, and I don't want that. So we have to shut that down to keep everything copacetic here. Unfortunately, I hate that. Once again, I hate to be that guy.
I mean, we got a nice facility. To me, it's not going to matter. We're going to do everything we can to provide the best service we can.
Yes, sir. And we still will.
And I really don't think the insurance companies look at that anyway, because insurance doubled this year, went from $2,000 to $4,000. in the city limits, and we're right here, so I don't think
All right.
So when you're out, is what we're saying,
We
right?
get all our stuff down there.
Curtis's people get all the bags.
Right.
All the bays, we clear on that now? Okay, next question.
With a new roof, hopefully.
With a new roof.
What is the, after we get the pump and everything up and going, and that, have you talked to, has anybody talked to him this week?
I have not talked to Mark this week.
Mark this week? You seen Mark?
Yeah, I seen him yesterday. He worked out there all weekend. We helped him locate the lines and all that for going.
You guys out.
I noticed that he has got a cover over the wellhead.
Yeah, he covered that. He put the platform, the first part of the concrete that he's got to build around the well. He's got that, so he's got to do that, and then he's got to build the slab on top of that.
Okay, so in other words, it's sealed, it's just ain't got the slab.
Right.
Okay.
He just ain't got it. He's protecting in case it rains.
Okay. Your facility, inside the facility, everything else, where are you at on that?
We're about 80%. So the only thing we're doing now is the low boat stuff, which I've been, myself and Nick are finishing up, getting everything to finish all that up. We ain't far from it.
Is the sprinkler system in already?
The sprinkler system? Yeah, it's all in, it's just not connected, because we gotta wait for the water. Everything inside to make the station functional is there except for the phone lines and the low volt stuff and that kind of stuff. But we're about 80% of that now. So we won't be long once they get the water in it.
So we got.
I mean, we've already got a bunch of stuff already down there, so. We've already
Toilets
moved
are
in a bunch of stuff.
installed,
What's the
desks are
big box out
in,
front of the building?
The what?
What is the big box out in front of the building?
That is metal that they got to replace on the building that I rejected. So they were trying to get away saying we were going to have to live with it, and I told them that's flat unacceptable.
Like the siding metal?
Yeah.
I just seen it, I didn't know.
Anything else?
Mr. Warren.
Last thing you need is some lecture from me tonight. I had a lot of stuff tonight.
All right. All right. On my report, we were notified. Susan, you get notified on this Friday? You want to, you tell them all about this.
Yeah, we just got our official notification that we have the CDBG grant for the residential water meters. I mean, we knew about it before, but it was the official
You got
notification on Friday.
congratulations.
Yes.
Notification late Friday.
Grant for what?
The residential water meters to replace all the residential water meters.
So that is official now.
50,000.
650,000.
That's to go to the AMI system?
That's to change all of the residential water meters to AMR.
Okay.
And then when we work with Hector at ABM, we'll be getting all of those the commercial ones changed over to AMI, and then also changing the entire system to AMI. We couldn't put AMI because it wouldn't.
It wouldn't match up. Yeah, I got
Right, it was too much money.
I couldn't
For the
remember which was
650.
the higher.
Right.
The higher. Yeah.
But yes, eventually the goal is they'll all be AMI, but through ABM.
Gotcha.
We have to come do it in stages.
Okay, and that's basically, was there anything else that we had that we went over? We've been over, this been crazy.
I guess one other thing, just to let you guys know, we've received a few emails from the DEO, DEP, I never know which one's which, asking for the additional information. No, from Swanee River, Swanee River Water Management District, asking for additional information on the pipeline project out to Cedar Key. We're responding to those tomorrow. And then we also got an email from Swanee River asking for additional information on the grant that we applied for to expand sewer from the 220 users to the 440 users, which is pretty good news. I mean, we've been told that, when they ask for more information, it usually means that they're seriously considering funding. So that would be, I think that one was $13 million to get everybody on sewer. Everybody.
So it's moving forward, but it's, like I say, Lord mercy, all these meetings and going through.
It's a lot of meetings.
We were in a wonderful one today. So, all right. Jason.
I don't have much. I would like to say that I do apologize for the meetings I have been missing with with a new career, I do travel a lot out of town, stay out of town. That's also the reason I will not be running again for town council for re-election coming up. I've enjoyed the time I've had here with everyone. I've learned a lot. I will be back. I will to run again one day in the future. But it will be after I've furthered my career and make sure everyone in the household is okay. But I will run again one day.
Very good.
Thank you all.
Very good. Thank you.
Mr. Harris.
Miss Sharon, you gonna be running again?
No. I went my last mile. We got a few more miles to go. But I really don't have anything else. I really enjoy working with you days from now. And I really seen you grow over the years that I served on the council with you. I mean, a lot.
Yes, sir.
Serious. I mean, you know what I did, but I watch you.
Yes, sir.
And you really developed real good over the years. And I'll tell you, I'm proud of you.
I appreciate it a lot. I really do. That's nice.
Yeah.
And true.
Just one, I guess it's more of an informational thing. The Bronson FFA is doing their annual food fest at the Baptist Church Friday. I think it's at 5:30 is when the food's getting served, and then cake auction afterwards for the scholarships for the seniors. If anybody wants to come out, and we'll be buying cakes, spending money.
Food fest and Beast Feast.
Beast Feast is for the school foundation, and then Food Fest is just for the FFA. Yeah, it's just for the scholarships for the seniors and stuff. So.
For sure.
Oh, I do have one thing. I have one thing on Sherry's behalf, which is super exciting. Yes, because we've been working very hard at this. So.
I've only been waiting.
I know we've literally, no joke. I started talking to Andy Cashman over at Some Sites February of 2022. So this is a year in the making. No joke. So. Thus far, we've now, basically what we paid for was the programming of all of the little tiny boxes. Then we had to go out and actually fill in all of the little tiny boxes. And as you can imagine, the boxes were actually drawn by our interns, by Sarah and Sebastian. And they weren't 100%, so we've had to make a few trips out to the cemetery to correct some things. But anyway, we're pretty close. We're like probably 98% done. Lisa's going to be finishing up this week, but we'll be able to laminate it or whatever we want to do, and then obviously it's going to go in the box out at the cemetery. So we will have to update it. It was printed over at the print shop in Chiefland. We'll have to update it every 4 years or so. They said it would fade. And then obviously we need to update it every so often because we've got new people. There's 10 new graves. Even from when I started this last February, we've had 10 new graves. So we had to draw those on. But we're so close. I mean, it's unbelievable how much headway we've made, believe it or not. So.
When we get to it,
yeah.
Let me know and I'll get another piece of Lexan cut for the front because that stuff was faded.
Yeah, that's perfect.
No good.
So, but yeah, and there'll be a legend next to it that says, number 134 is so and so, and so. But yeah, we're close. It'll be done in definitely a week or two. We'll have 100%. So it's very exciting stuff. There's some relatives in there, right?
Mr. Nigel, that's exactly what you called me about the other day, what was going on.
I'm not going to say this loud. I just got a call from Susan Early. Y'all know who that is. Attorney. She say it's scheduled for trial the first week in April, and we may have to be called as a witness. But they filed a motion to dismiss it. So if they dismiss it, then we won't have to. But I told her, I said, I'm in the meeting. She said, oh, no wonder nobody answered the phone. So I think she probably called it everybody. So that's what.
It'll probably be the same day as the election.
I did explain to her that we had an election that first week, and that wasn't great timing.
But probably why they did.
Yeah, who knows? So.
Thank you, B. Thank you, Ms. B. All right. Ms. Sherry, did you have anything else? Okay. Any other public participation? With that,
Make a motion to pay the bills.
No. We don't have them in the packet because Wendy wasn't there today. So no, you guys are good.
with that,
She getting a grandbaby?
yes.
She's in the hospital.
Too young to have a grant.
She already has a grant.
I already know.
We good then. That means we didn't spend no money.
Yeah, it's-